What is the resurrection of Christ and our capacity to have that and realize that in our lifetime?
We know the word Christ is again the word Hamashiach, which means anointed one. And there's some pretty good evidence to say that that title was given to Yeshua by the Essenes. They were like, he's the anointed one. He's the Messiah that we've prophesied would be born. And if you read the New Testament, there's a few passages where they quote, he will be born a Nazarene. And they said, look, he is the fulfillment of the scriptures. He is the Messiah that we foretold. And so the word Christ means anointed one. And so when we talk about Christ consciousness or the resurrection of the Christ in you, it has to be pointing to that principle, right? Again, what Christianity overlooks or takes for granted is that Christ is not a person, but a state of consciousness that, again, the Essenes were trying to merge back with.
Not just a being, but a state of being.
Yeah, not just a being, but a state of being. And so what good is it to just confess a person who lived 2,000 years ago and say, that's my Lord and Savior, but you go on lying, stealing, cheating, all that stuff.
Which I've just always abhorred in like the Christians, that you kind of just use it as a scapegoat to say, yes, I've said I've accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Can essentially just like do whatever I want and I'm good. I'm going to the pearly gates, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, fair, no judgment. But at the same time, like how that makes no sense to me that a Buddhist monk who would never kill a fly,
Mm-hmm.
who lives his life with so much compassion and service to others, who knowingly had awareness of, you know, quote unquote, accepting Christ into his heart and didn't, now is going to burn in hell for eternity, you know? Just never made sense to me.
And you're not alone in that.
For sure.
It's the universal reason that anyone rejects the Christian faith, because Jesus said, you know a tree by its fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit. So the hypocrisy of Christianity is the thing that not only me, but also my parents had suffered from so much, that drove me to the place of, this must be a bad tree if I'm seeing so much bad fruit. And anybody listening, even if you're a fundamentalist Christian listening to this, you cannot deny all the rampant hypocrisy you've seen in probably every church you've ever been involved in. I mean, I knew countless youth pastors getting caught sleeping with their, youth students, laundering money, constant, relentless fights for power and coup d'etats, overthrow attempts of pastors, spreading rumors, gossiping. I could go on and tell you stories about my parents suffering these things.